All right, hey, it's Zane back again, and today we're going to be looking at investing in altcoins, which are alternatives to Bitcoin, and we're going to be using Bittrex. So this is going to be really a guide on Bittrex for someone who's pretty new to the space, who's never used Bittrex before, and maybe someone who's never really invested in altcoins before as well. So let's kick it off at the very beginning. Right now, we're on a website called Cryptocurrency Market Capitalizations, or it's coinmarketcap.com. If you Google it, you'll definitely find it. It'll be the first result. Alternatively, just type in, coinmarketcap.com. And you can start to get a look at all the different types of cryptocurrencies. So you got Bitcoin up there at the top with a market cap today of just under $200 billion, guys. The total market cap of cryptocurrency is $358 billion. So there's about $158 billion in market cap that exists outside of Bitcoin's $200 billion. You see Ethereum's got $44 billion, Bitcoin Cash is currently at $25 billion, IOTA is at 10, which is incredible. It's had a really nice rise. You can see it there. It's gone boom, bang, through the fucking roof. Ripple at 9.4-5, etc., 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 all the way down. This is the top 100 on the first page of CoinMarketCap, into a chain with an $81 million market cap. So the reason why you'd want to invest in coins outside of Bitcoin is pretty much because, well, a couple of reasons. Number one, it diversifies your investment. As I mentioned in the previous video, every single cryptocurrency basically serves a unique purpose. It really depends on what the coin was designed to do, right? So let's take Monero right here as an example. Monero is a dark coin, which means you can transact on it and remain entirely anonymous. And it seems that people are liking that because today it's up 28.5%, which is crazy. Sick gains on Monero. So maybe, you'd like to put a little bit of money in Monero. Or maybe you'd like to put a little bit of money into Neo, which is a Chinese currency, which is a platform actually for people to build other cryptocurrencies on top of, similar to a sort of Ethereum. It's a competitor to Ethereum. Scrolling down, we can see all these different types of coins. Golem, really cool, decentralized supercomputer. Dogecoin, 10x, which is a payment system with credit cards. All these different coins have different missions that relate to cryptocurrency and the blockchain. They're built for specific reasons, and that means inherently they have certain potential. So you could invest in Bitcoin, which is primarily to store a value in a way for people to transact, or you could start opening up. You could start looking at all the other different types of cryptocurrencies, learning about them, figuring out what they do and how they're going to help cryptocurrency and the blockchain economy as a whole, right? And then you might want to invest in them. So the way that you would do that is you would buy Bitcoin, first of all, or perhaps buy Ethereum. These are the two big ones, and then you'd swap them for any one of these other alternative coins, and you'd swap them on an exchange. So the exchange that we're going to be looking at today is called Bittrex. Now, don't get confused. There are certain exchanges that will only sell you Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Ripple and Litecoin, right? But they'll sell it to you for currency, like actual fiat currency is what we call it. So we're talking Australian dollars, US dollars, euros, whatever the currency is in your place of residence. Typically, you're going to be able to swap for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the other big ones on a fiat exchange, right? But once you buy it, you might want to send it to a cryptocurrency only exchange. And that's really what Bittrex is, okay? So Bittrex is right here. It's bittrex.com. If you're looking to find it, sure, if you Google it, you'll find it. But one thing to keep in mind, guys, whenever you're Googling something with crypto, please, for the love of God, make sure that you're actually on the right website, because there's a lot of other copycat websites out there that will look exactly like this, but they'll be built, by some sort of shady individual or group of individuals that will be basically presenting the website as the original Bittrex or as the original whatever. And then as soon as you put in your details and you put in your money, guess what? It's gone. The inherent danger in investing in cryptocurrency is the security. There's no banks in any of this. There's no one there to secure your money and hold it for you, and then, you know, play daddy and make sure that your money stays safe. If you lose your money, you lose your money. So if you're going to be going to Bittrex, make sure you go to bittrex.com, and this is what the website should look like. Before we dive in, I'm just going to get a sip of water. Oh, it's fucking delicious. Okay, cool. So we're at Bittrex right now, the next generation digital currency exchange. Trade confidently. Thank you, Bittrex. Once again, security extremely important within crypto. They're USA based. That's nice to know. And then it basically allows you to start trading all these different sorts of currencies. I'm not sure what the hell these are, like Gridcoin and Gambit. Haven't heard too much of about these. Ubiq have heard of, Litecoin obviously. So yeah, look, you can trade a lot of different currencies on Bittrex. The homepage is pretty fucking basic, but let's just click, let's get started now. Cool. So let's sign up to a brand new Bittrex account. I'm just gonna put in an old email address that I don't really use. Make up a password. You do the same. Agree to bittrex.com terms and click sign up. Make sure you follow their password criteria. You need an uppercase, lowercase, and a special character, and some numbers. Cool, we got an email sent. I'm just gonna go open that email. Give me a sec. So when you're on Bittrex, when you've got the email, basically what it should look like in your email inbox is Bittrex mailer, account verification, and it'll look like this in your email client. I usually use Gmail, but today, since we're using an old email, we're going to be looking at Outlook. But anyway, this is what the email looks like. Click the verification. All right, email verification successful, and then just log in. Dang, we are logged in. So, new IP address detected. I guess it sent me another email. Thank you, Bittrex, for your extensive security measures. Let's go again. And we are in, baby. Cool. I don't want to save this because I don't intend to use this account. But when you log into Bittrex, this is essentially what it looks like. Now, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the UI. At the top left, you've got the logo. Click that and it'll take you back to this page at any point. You've got a little Bitcoin sign that says Bitcoin markets, and then you've got dollar markets. So Bitcoin markets essentially means you're swapping Bitcoin for a lot of different types of coins, right? You've got Neo there, we talked about that earlier on in the video. You've got XMR, which is Monero, which we saw was up 28%. It says here 24%, obviously things are fluctuating, but this is where we can swap Bitcoin for all of these coins, plus more. There's tons of pages of coins down here. Like I said, you could also buy Ethereum and swap Ethereum for other coins as well, because it's an entry into markets. And then on the top, if we close that, we can see dollar markets, right? This is swapping USD tethers for other coins. So what a USD tether is, guys, if I go to a new page and type in tether, you need to basically understand this as well, because it's part of trading with cryptocurrency and part of Bittrex in particular. But tether is essentially a digital currency that's tethered to the US dollar. So the value of this currency is essentially always equal to the value of a dollar. There's a little bit of controversy around this. I would recommend reading into it and learning about Tether for yourself, because essentially Tether, this company, whenever someone buys tethers from them, they are claiming that they've reserved an equal amount of US dollars in their bank accounts to secure the value of the digital currency called Tether. So essentially, I guess what it means when you're trading is that you're swapping US dollars for cryptocurrency, but you've got to buy the Tether first. Cool? So those are your forms of trading into alternative coins on Bittrex. And you can, once again, find it at these two areas of the UI. There's lab, any-to-any, auto sell, profit links. I'd never really use this, but I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. You can start to trade any coin to any coin. I don't know what the volume would be, because to trade your cryptocurrency, essentially how the market works is someone has to be willing to buy your currency. We're basically swapping and trading from person to person on an exchange, if that makes sense. So you will put up a certain price that you want to sell for, and someone else will put up a certain price they want to buy for. If those two things correlate, then the transaction happens. Cool. So that's lab. I don't really play with that. But if you want to, go ahead and check it out. Orders. This is, I'm sure, all of your pending orders. So if you're a beast master trader, I'm sure you'll have a long list there. Usually, most of the time, you won't be using this either, because you'll be buying and trading on the fly. Wallets is your own personal wallet within the exchange itself. Now, there's a difference between having a personal wallet, something like a Mycelium, a Jax, an app that sits on your phone, a paper wallet, a Ledger Nano, which is a hardware wallet. There's a difference between that and the wallets on the exchange. The wallets on the exchange are basically, they're sitting on the exchange. Like you are holding your money on this particular platform called Bittrex. And the reason why you'd want to be concerned about that is because if something happens to Bittrex, like if Bittrex gets hacked, which has happened with other exchanges in the past, like, there's this exchange that comes to mind. What's it called? It's called Mt. Gox. Yeah, Mt. Gox. That was a huge hack that had lots of people lose millions of dollars. So, like I said, inherently within the crypto space, you have to understand, guys, it's still quite early. Security is improving every single day, but make sure that you put the burden of security on yourself. Now, most of the time I do leave some money on Bittrex, and that's because I will enable something called two-factor security or two-factor authentication. We're going to cover all of that today. But anyway, we've just clicked on wallets, and that's what a wallet is. And then you've got over here your own personal wallet. Right now, the account balance is basically 0 Bitcoin, which is equivalent to $0 US. Once you put some Bitcoin in here, and once you start buying all these other altcoins, you're going to see this balance move up and increase. And this is essentially all the different wallets you could have, and there's pages and pages and pages for every single type of coin. If you ever want to hide the zero balances, you just click that, and we're basically looking at no records right now. But let's open that again so you can see it. Underneath that, you've got pending withdrawals. So if you're trying to withdraw Bitcoin, Ethereum, any type of currency, and it's pending, you'll see it in there. That's how you know it's working. And you've got pending deposits. When you go to deposit money into Bittrex for the very first time, basically, once it starts getting accepted, once it hits the blockchain, you're going to see it as a pending deposit in here until it eventually goes from here and lands in your wallet. And then you've got your history over here for withdrawals and deposits, and that's the wallet user interface. Once again, click here and you'll get here to the wallet. Settings is another section. Let's quickly have a look at that. Now, to use Bittrex effectively, you would need to upgrade your account to Bacic, and which would mean that you need to start verifying some things. So you've got basic verification, enhanced verification, which will increase your withdrawal limits. You've got two-factor authentication. You've got API keys, IP whitelists, withdrawal whitelists. So the IP whitelist means that only a specific sort of IP that you want to trade from, like your computer, will be whitelisted, and every other IP will not be. So that's another enhanced security feature. And then yeah, you've got user interface settings and notifications. So if you'd like to customize your account, you would go here into settings. Right now the daily withdrawal limit is 0 Bitcoin, and to increase it I need Bacic or an enhanced account to enable two-factor authentication, and also enable two-factor authentication here. Cool. So I'm going to go through how to do that as soon as I finish with the UI. So that's the settings. We're going to be spending a little bit of time here. Any help that you might need, so you've got news, site statuses, privacy policies support, and all of that. So if this video doesn't explain everything, I guess you could go to support, but honestly I've never had to use that. And then of course log out to get the fuck out. Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the process of essentially upgrading our account to Bacic and installing two-factor authentication, so we can start trading, and so we can have a withdrawal limit, so when we do make a little bit of money, a little bit of cash, we can withdraw it when we need to. Okay, so let's kick things off with starting with basic verification. To do that, you'd want to click here, basic verification. Now it's going to ask you for some information. You're going to need your first name, middle name, last name, birth month, birthday, birth year, the country where you're from, street address, apartment, city, state and province, postal code, and the passport number is optional. On my personal account, I've actually filled out all of this. So what I would suggest is that you go through and you fill out every single thing. And as soon as you do that, you're going to have a withdrawal limit on Bittrex. Once you've done that, I might recommend even pausing the video and then going through that, and you hit submit. It should start beginning the basic verification process. Cool. The next thing that we need to do is set up two-factor authentication. Now, you can do it by either clicking here or clicking here. I'm just going to click here. So currently, as you can see, two-factor is disabled. Now, what is two-factor? Essentially, what it means is, like as we were talking about, because the burden of security is on you, and because Bittrex as a platform wants to keep security reasonably high, what we need is a second form of verification whenever you log in, right? Now, you can see over here there is a QR code. Essentially what you need to do is you need to download an app on your phone, whether it's Google or Android, doesn't matter, but it's called Google Authenticator. It looks like this. You'll find it on the App Store. Make sure you've got the right one. And then essentially within the Authenticator app, it'll look like this. It'll be blue. All you'd have to do is press this plus button right here on the Authenticator app. And what it will do is it'll open up a scanner on the app. Once you scan this QR code, it's going to give you a series of numbers. In this instance, it's 524998, and then about every 20 seconds or 25 seconds, it's going to start cycling through the numbers, right? And this is a unique code specific to you and this QR code, right? So when you scan this code, you're going to get, when you scan it, you press the plus, you scan the code, it registers, you start getting some numbers, and then what you'd want to do is you'd want to type your numbers in here, your 6-digit authentication code in here, and essentially it'll allow you to enable two-factor authentication. And then whenever you log into Bittrex, you'll have to open up your Google Authenticator app and re-put in the code. Now what this does is it makes it so someone, even if they've got your password, they'd also need to have access to your unique code, which is stored on your phone and in an app, right, to get access to your Bittrex account. So it's an extra level of security that you can add to your account. Once you've done those two things, then essentially you'll basically be ready to start trading on Bittrex. You'll have a withdrawal limit still, but it will be sizable. If you want to increase your withdrawal limit, I would also recommend doing enhanced verification. So to do this, you need to do the basic verification first. So you need to submit your name, address, birth date before starting the enhanced verification. So that's essentially it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to log into my main Bittrex account to show you guys essentially how you start trading and how you start using Bittrex. So be right back. Okay, we're back into Bittrex, and this is my main email and password account. Just going to click login. And now, if you've set up your Bittrex two-factor authentication, then you'll see here that it's asking you for two-factor. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to just open your Google Authenticator app, find your code, and pop that sucker in here. I'm just gonna, the code's about to expire. Here comes a new one. Cool. Boom, and we are about to log in. Okay, and now we are in the Bittrex ecosystem. So in order for us to start trading, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to deposit some money or some Bitcoin or Ethereum into Bittrex, essentially. So I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to deposit a little bit of Ethereum right now. I wasn't planning to do this, but let's do it anyway. Let's go from the very beginning. So here I am on Bitcoin markets, which is a place for essentially for you to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? But there's other places. There's Coinbase or wherever the hell you want to buy your Bitcoin or Ethereum from. I use them all. This is just one instance of one sort of account that I use. And yeah, essentially, once you buy your Bitcoin or Ethereum from a fiat exchange, as we were discussing before, somewhere for you to swap your actual like fiat currency, Australian dollars, US dollars, euros, to Bitcoin and Ethereum, you will have Ethereum or Bitcoin in that account. So what we want to do is we want to withdraw from your Coinbase or your Bitcoin markets or your independent reserve, whatever it is that you're using, into a Bittrex wallet, right? So it's quite simple. It's literally transferring the currency from one wallet or one exchange to another exchange, if that makes sense. So let's click withdraw Ethereum, since I seem to have some Ethereum conveniently. So as you can see, it'll ask you for an address and for an amount. So if we go to Bittrex, once again, we're in my account. I'm just going to click on wallets. It's another place, like I said. Cool. And then we can see Ethereum right here. So let's assume that I wanted to transfer Ethereum from one exchange onto another exchange, onto Bittrex, sorry. I will just click the plus button in my Bittrex wallet, and it will give me a special hex address or a wallet address, right? So essentially, when you make your first deposit, you would search here for the currency that you want to deposit in, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you would put it into your wallet, and then would show up in the pending deposits, as I talked about before. And then eventually it will end up in your wallet, and then voila, you can start trading. So I just copied my Ethereum address. When I hit the plus means add, the minus means remove from wallet in Bittrex. And then I would go to wherever I've got my Ethereum, whether it's a personal wallet, whether it's another exchange, a fiat exchange, whatever it is, type in that. I'd put in how much Ethereum I want to withdraw onto Bittrex. In this case, let's just say I want to withdraw 1 Ethereum for now. I confirm that I've checked that this wallet is legit, and then it's going to ask you for a 2-factor on BTC markets. Most places will have one. Successfully received. Cool. Now eventually that's going to end up as a pending deposit in Bittrex. It might take 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but it'll end up in there, and then eventually end up in your wallet on Bittrex. Cool. So now, assuming that I have Ethereum or Bitcoin, I can start trading. I would recommend that you don't deposit Ethereum like I just did. I would recommend you do it with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has the most trading pairs, right? So let's go into how to buy stuff. Let's go into the Bitcoin markets, and let's assume that we want to buy NEO. If at any point you've heard about a coin, you've been hearing some great things about it, whatever it is, you can just click here and you can search for it. So let's assume that you've been hearing great things about a coin called Power Ledger. Type in whatever you want to find, and eventually it'll be there. Now, Bittrex has the most, I'm pretty sure, trading pairs of any exchange. Okay, let's just close that. All right, so now I've typed in NEO, and we're on the NEO trading pair page. So a quick tour of this page. You've got your trading screen with essentially the market history and the candles of NEO. You can just scroll your mouse wheel, it'll zoom in and out. You can see where it's gone and where it's been. You can see that NEO kind of started out here, took a bit of a dump, had a massive meteoric rise, corrected back down and dropped heavily in a bear market, was indecisive for a little while, had a spike, but it was founded too soon and it went all the way down, and now it's kind of fluctuating around this range. So you might see this and you might think NEO seems like a great buy, right? So then the next thing you look at is the stuff over here on the side, which shows the last price of NEO relative to Bitcoin, which is 325,000 Satoshis, or this fraction of a Bitcoin, right? Then there's the current volume that's happening in NEO in 24 hours, which is 2,385 Bitcoins worth of volume, which is, as of today, about $26.2 million being pushed in and out of NEO on the Bittrex exchange within 24 hours. So other exchanges are obviously going to have different sorts of volumes. This is the main reason why you'd want to use Bittrex. There's a lot of volume, and that means a lot of liquidity, which means easy entries and easy exits. When you put in a trade, you can make sure that the trade goes through. This is the last bid, so the last price someone is buying for. This is the last ask right here, the last price someone is asking for. As you can see, there's a difference. The last ask is 325,100, while the last bid is 325,85. So it's very close together, which means the market is somewhat indecisive. It could also mean the market's going down, right? There's only 100 Satoshis of difference right there. Basically $3.84, $38.41 for a bid and an ask. So it's what that's telling you is that what people are willing to buy is exactly what people are willing to sell for, which means there's no upward demand. People are not willing to pay more, and the people that are selling are a bit scared, so they're actually selling at cost price or demand price, right? And this is the 24-hour high and the 24-hour low. So as you can see, we're very much at the 24-hour low right now, which could mean it's a good time to buy, right? Because as Warren Buffett says, invest when people are scared and be scared when people are greedy, right? Or be greedy when people are scared, but be scared when people are greedy. So a lot to do with trading is actually counterintuitive. One quick thing that I want to mention over here on these charts is you've got some options here. Like you can actually change the chart and make it just a line chart if you like. You can make it a hollow candle chart, which if you zoom in makes the candles hollow. You can make it a mountain chart, looks like that. In terms of volume, bar chart, whatever. Candle charts that we're going to go with right now. And then you've got other stuff that you can add. So you can add, stochastics, you can add RSI or MACD onto your chart if you like. These are all different trading tools. What I would recommend you do is look into MACD, RSI, and stochastics, which is basically, most of the, I guess, what traders really use. And also look into Fibonacci and learning how to do lines. What I'm going to do most probably is within my next video, I'm going to show you guys the real basics of how to chart or how to use these tools and how to really start, I guess, thinking like a trader and how to basically start to predict the future and make really smart investment decisions. So if you want to learn that right now, as you're watching this video, make sure you leave a comment or a like, because that way I'll know that it's worth making. So basically, yeah, you've got all of these little tools right here that you can add to it if you want to. I'm not gonna, because I use a different program to do my charting, but you can if you like. And then also, you've got other tools here. So you can add a Fibonacci to the chart. Something like that, right? So what else can we do? We can add lines to the chart. Oh, what have I done? Oh shit. Okay, I've basically screwed this up. Let me just refresh this page. Hopefully the lines are gone. Cool, they're gone. All right, so there you go. If you ever do too many lines and then you have a glitch out like I just did, where you can't delete them, just refresh the page. So cool, now we're down to where the magic happens, guys. The trading section of the page. So now assume that you want to be able to buy some NEO right now. Essentially, you would put in how many units of NEO that you want to buy over here. And you've got your total available Bitcoin in this section right here. So this is trading, once again, Bitcoin markets, right? So for trading Bitcoin for alternative coins, right? So you would have your available Bitcoin here if it's deposited in your wallet up here. And then essentially you would define how many NEO you want to buy. So if I wanted to buy 100 NEO for an average price of $38, that would be 3.8K roughly worth of NEO. And now that's in this section, how much NEO I want to buy. Now the next thing is the bid. What do I want to pay for my NEO? I can either pay the last median price, the last bid, so what someone else wants to buy for, which is what they're bidding for NEO, or I can buy it for the last ask price, which is what someone wants to sell for, right? If you want to have your order put through quickly, I would recommend buying for the last ask price and then potentially even dropping it below another 50 Satoshis or something like that. That would make sure that your buy happens as quickly as possible, right? The next thing that you'd want to do is you would see over here the total value of it, and then you would click buy NEO, and then it would essentially start processing, and then you would buy your NEO. The same thing happens in reverse on the selling side. You put in how much NEO you'd want to sell for Bitcoin, right? Because we're trading on a Bitcoin market. You'd put in the last price that you want to do, whether it's the last price, the bid, or the ask, whatever it is that you want to do. And then you'd have your total Bitcoin that you'd get, and then you just click your sell NEO, right? Another cool thing that you can do when it comes to how much you want to pay for it, just click here, open the window, and then let's assume that I see someone over here is asking 324,300 Satoshis, so that denomination of value from a Bitcoin for the NEO. I could just click that, and it automatically fills it in there. See that? So I want to buy their trade. Cool, so there's your buying and selling window. Now, limits. This is something a little bit more advanced. I'm going to give you a quick overview. Personally, I don't use these too much because I make all my trades on the spot, but limits are useful. Essentially, what a limit is, it's a condition. So it's kind of like, if NEO drops from 324 to 320,000, then buy 100 NEO, right? So it's a conditional value where you can place bids to buy in this window or to sell in this window ahead of time, okay? So you basically click limit default and good till canceled, or immediate or cancel, right? So it's either it stays, it works straight away, or it cancels, or it's good until you cancel it. You could even put a conditional limit, buy when it equals this value of Bitcoin. See that? Or conditional, sell when it equals this value of Bitcoin, or is greater than or equal to, or is less than or equal to. So we're getting a little bit complex. Think about how you could use this. For example, you could buy NEO right now, and let's say that you want to go to sleep, but you think that overnight it's going to shoot up. Well, then you'd click sell when it's greater or equal to 3,500 of a Bitcoin, and then sell the NEO, and then it will put your limit, and it will eventually sell when it hits that amount. Cool. Below that is the order book. This is all the data of what people are buying, or the orders that they've put in. You can see you've got someone here that wants to buy 9.5 NEO for 0309. Someone who this is the bid right here. He wants to buy 9.5 NEO for 323,900. And it goes down. This guy wants to buy 130 NEO for 323,900. So as you can see, the prices basically go at the very top, the best price that someone's willing to pay for it. And then down to the worst price. And there's just tons and tons of pages. Essentially, this is the total amount of NEO people are looking to buy, right? This over here is the total amount of NEO people are looking to sell. A lot more people are looking to buy NEO at this time than are looking to sell it. Cool. So you can basically check this out. It'll give you a good idea of what's happening right now within the space. And occasionally you'll see a huge order like this, a 486 NEO asking to sell for a certain amount of money and a certain amount of Bitcoin value. If that order goes through, it basically moves the market. So all the collection of all of these trades and all of these trades is what determines what you see up here in the candles, right? In all of these little bits. So this candle basically here, this green one, says it was trading in this range. People were buying and selling in this range within this 30-minute space. Each one of these candles is 30 minutes. So I could trade that, I could change that to 5 minutes, right? And you can see a completely different sort of data. In 5-minute intervals, this is what's happened to NEO. It kind of went down, and then it started to level out, and then it went down again because, you know, people are bearish on it. People want to sell it, right? You can choose the amount of window or level of time you want to look at. This is really just trading though, which I'm going to go into more hopefully in another video. So that's your order book. Hopefully you understand how that works. This is the actual data, you know, transaction by transaction data that moves this market overview, right? Over here, you've got open orders. These are your pending orders that are waiting to be filled. So if you wanted to buy NEO and you bought for a price and the market moved, it wouldn't immediately sell. It would just appear here in the pending orders. You can cancel it if you'd want to. And this is the market history of what's happened so far in the market. And this is some order history right here. You can see a couple of my orders are basically in there. So yeah, that's the buying sort of, well, that's the trading window. Hopefully that gives you a good overview of how it works. What else can I do to help you guys out with this? I could potentially sell something to show you how it would work. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so I'm back into my wallet right now. As you can see, the Ethereum that we deposited early on has landed in my account by now, which is sweet. So essentially I'm just gonna sell, I think I might actually sell some 10x pay token. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a small trade so you can see how it works. Yeah, I'm gonna do a small trade actually with Ethereum because we've just put it in, it makes more sense. So we've opened up the Ethereum window. You can kind of see what's going on here. Ethereum seems to be dropping a little bit, which I don't usually sell when it's dropping, but we're just going to sell a small amount. So let's assume that I want to have just straight one Ethereum in my account, and I want to sell this 0.406 Ethereum right there. So if you click max at any point, it'll take all your Ethereum that you've got and put that into the sell order. But I don't want to do that. I want to sell 0.4 Ethereum, right? Now the price that I want to sell it for is essentially the last bit. Let's say, yeah, fine, this price, right? 3,813,600. Right now it's 3,807,000, which people are paying significantly less already, which means the market's dropping, as you can see with this candle. But that's okay. It's a small amount of Ethereum. Even if it doesn't go through, you'll be able to see what happens when it doesn't go through. So essentially, what I'm going to get in Bitcoin value is 0.0152 worth of Bitcoin for this amount of Ethereum, right? Which makes sense, because Ethereum's roughly $460 right now, whereas Bitcoin is 11,000. So I'll click sell Ethereum. It gives me the details of my sell and disclaimer. Click confirm. ETH sell is placed. Right? And you see it's just been placed, it hasn't been filled because the market's moved since then. The market's dropping. If we go down here to our open orders, we can see that it's right here. It's a limit sell of this ask for this much Ethereum. Now the market's moved significantly, so I can either leave that in here and eventually when the market goes back up, it'll process the sell order, or I can cancel it here with the X. ETH sell cancelled, right? Now, if I wanted to sell it quickly because I'm like, oh shit, the market's dropping, I need to sell this, I would just go back here and I'll be like, okay, I'm selling for this amount, sell Ethereum, click confirm. But you know what? I've changed my mind. I want to keep my Ethereum. I'm super bullish on Ethereum, guys. I love Ethereum, so I'm not going to sell it. But if I would have clicked that, it would have been like the same little loading thing, ETH sell placed, and then you'd go back into your wallet and you'd see that you now have Bitcoin in place of Ethereum. Same thing would happen in the US markets as well, except you'd have US tethers instead of Bitcoin. So that's it. Hopefully that gives you a good overview of what Bittrex is. It's a bit of a long video, 45 minutes, but you should know everything you need to know right now when it comes to Bittrex. I encourage you, get in the system, have a bit of a play around, like this video, comment on it, because if you do that, it'll push it to the top, and then really this video can help other people looking for a nice clean guide on how to use Bittrex, and also helps me because it kind of gives me a little bit of encouragement. I mean, it was never really my intention to make cryptocurrency videos, so it was awesome because I made one and then I got quite a bit of support off the back of that, and it's so cool to see people just liking the content and so many people getting involved in the cryptocurrency space. So that's it, guys. Hopefully I'll see you at the next video, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be how to trade, or like strategies to make legit money trading cryptocurrency and investing in cryptocurrency. So that's it. Catch you next time. Peace.